Welcome, everyone, to another edition of the Red Raider Spotlight. Today's guest is senior men's golfer Ryan Vaden. Ryan, thank you for joining me. And what's a day in the life of Ryan like for you right now?
Yeah, so right now I'm back home living in Des Moines, Iowa. I've been working part-time for this company called Shipt. It's like a grocery delivery type company, similar to DoorDash. So I've just been doing that part-time until I start my full-time job in a couple weeks. Been doing that for a few hours a day just to get out of the house and keep busy. And yeah, just trying to get outside as much as possible. Play a lot of golf, a lot of disc golf. Yeah, get a lot of that stuff in before I have to start working 40 hours a week here.
Awesome. How did online learning go for you? How did you finish the semester up?
Yeah, I think it went about as well as it could have for me. It was a pretty smooth transition. Um, I think the professors communicated pretty well throughout all of it. They communicated their expectations and then made good changes to their courses to fit the online platform. It was just kind of a different type of learning. Like it was more discussion posts, like discussion based activities, a little more writing. But I wouldn't say it was really more time for me or harder for me. So it was all right.
Was it easy to stay motivated? For me, if it was online, I would put it off. Uh,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
that's me. So
yeah. So yeah, being at home, it kind of felt like I was just back for summer or for like vacation or whatever. So it was just kind of hard to find the motivation to, I guess, put a few hours aside to do homework when you're at home. But you also don't have your like friends from college or roommates trying to pull you aside to go do stuff. So
true.
I guess kind of evened out there.
True. Take us back to, ironically, it was Friday the 13th in March when you found out, or when we all found out really, that Northwestern was going online and that your spring season was no longer. Where were you? How did you find out? How did that go down?
Yeah, so that was I guess right after spring break ended. A bunch of the guys on the team just went to Dallas. We went down there for a spring break golf trip. So we were kind of pumped after that for the spring season. But we kind of saw the writing on the wall. Like we saw other schools start to announce that they were going to online classes. We heard professors kind of talk about it, what it might look like and stuff. So we kind of figured it would happen. We just didn't know when. And so because of that, Coach Alberson decided to have potentially last team practice that Friday. And it was like right in the middle of that practice when someone saw the email and kind of broke the news to us. So yeah, that was kind of sad, but it was nice to have that little bit of closure with the team at the end. Yeah.
Did you spend the weekend here on campus or did you just pack up and get going right away?
I stayed till that next Wednesday, so about 5, 6 more days. So that kind of let me be able to kind of get closure with a lot of friends, kind of say goodbyes and hang out with people those last few days while there weren't classes going on. So it was, yeah, it was kind of tough, but it was a nice little period for that.
You mentioned a spring break trip to Dallas. Was that golf focused or fun focused or some of both? And
It was some of both.
okay,
Yeah, it was. We played a lot of golf down there. We played at least 18 holes every day. We played 36 a couple of days down there, and the weather was it was at least like 70 almost every day. So it was we couldn't have asked for a better spring break trip. Yeah, and yeah, we had a lot of fun down there too. Got a nice Airbnb with a pool in the backyard. So yeah, it was a good time.
it beats the weather in Northwest Iowa.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So reflect on your Northwestern golf career. What are some of your more memorable moments as a Red Raider men's golfer?
Yeah, I mean, I'll go back to just the different spring break trips we went on the last few years. Like my sophomore year, like 5 of us went down to Northwest Arkansas for a spring break trip. Weather wasn't great that year, but it was still a good time. And then last couple of years we went to Texas. 2 years ago, or my junior year, it was San Antonio, and then it was Dallas this year. So that was just a great experience to, I guess, prepare for the spring seasons each of those years and get some good practice in, but also grow closer with a lot of those guys on the team too.
Good.
And I would also say, I guess, a memorable tournament for me would be my junior year in the spring. We went to Oklahoma, and I think it was a 2-day tournament, and I had my worst round as a college golfer the first day. I think I shot 89, and then the second day I came back and shot 71.
Wow.
So improved by one shot a hole from first to second day.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Take us back to your high school days. When did you know that you wanted to play collegiate golf? And then when did you know that Northwestern was the place for you?
Yeah. So I I've been playing golf like ever since I was a little kid, but I really like started to play almost every day in the summer and things when I was in about 8th grade. So like once I got to start playing high school golf, that's kind of when I started to kind of make a goal for myself to play college golf. Um, Sorry, what was the second part of the question?
Why Northwestern?
Okay, yeah. So my mom grew up in Orange City actually, so I was familiar with the area. Her side of the family grew up there, so I would visit for like holidays, Tulip Festival, things like that. Um, and then so towards my like halfway through my senior year, I was down to Northwestern and then a couple of larger schools like state schools, and I just decided that I kind of wanted a smaller setting, just to be able to get to know people easier, get to know your professors um, a lot better, and yeah, just a little bit personal aspect of that.
Any advice that you have for your returning teammates?
Yeah, I would definitely say to make sure to use the resources that the college gives to you, whether that be with golf, academics, or with your faith, all three areas. For golf, you're going to have a hard time finding a better indoor facility than the effort for a school of our size. So definitely put in some hours in the off season to so you're not rusty once the spring season rolls along, and to make improvements that other teams might not be able to. And then for academics, I would just encourage to use the peer learning center every once in a while. That's something that I didn't take advantage of that much, but I probably should have a little more, because you're going to have classes where there's some hard topics or concepts that you're just going to not know what to do. And it's nice to be able to go to someone that has been in your shoes, has taken the class before, and can offer some good advice there. And then with the faith aspect, I would say just with like D groups and stuff like that, Northwestern does a great job of providing opportunities to grow in your faith and to create relationships through that. And D groups in the dorms are a perfect way for that. Just a great way to hear different perspectives on different faith related topics, and just also build some relationships with the guys in the dorms too.
What would you say is the most or the impact of the indoor facility in Yuffer? How has that helped the Red Raider golf program?
It's helped tremendously. I know with the Yuffer and the golf room and the weight room, it's nice to be able to see like in the off season, like through lifting, how many like yards you're gaining through that, like in the simulator. Like I remember my freshman year, I was probably driving the ball like 280 coming in, and then after like a season in the weight room, I was probably 20 yards farther with my driver. So it's just really cool to see, like especially the freshmen come in and see like the gains that they make through the effort, and just to be able to, I guess, improve through the off season. It's just a great tool for that.
Cool. You kind of alluded to it earlier, but what are some tips that you would have for an incoming freshman on how to balance academics and athletics?
Yeah, I think that's a lot of that is just prioritizing and time management. I know for me, what worked was just setting aside a few hours every night, because you'll have classes throughout the day, then you'll have golf practice in the afternoon, and then dinner probably, and then so just a few hours every night for that. Um, and just make sure that becomes a priority and not to procrastinate on that. And I would also give a tip for like throughout the day with your classes. Like say you have a couple of classes that are 2 hours apart, you don't have anything between that. Just use that time to knock out an assignment or something that you might have, so that you're not kind of overwhelmed later on the night. And you have more time to, I guess, hang out with friends and do other stuff too.
Do you have a favorite class or a memorable class? And then also the same question for professor as well.
Um, I don't know if I really had a favorite class per se. I would say my favorite professors were like the main ones for my major. I would I don't know if I can really choose one between Professor Gibler and Post, and then Dr. Fay. I think they all had very different teaching styles, but they were all very effective, and they all definitely showed um, a personal interest in each student's learning, and they were very easy. They were very understanding, and easy to communicate with. So I appreciated that about all of them, and I feel like I just learned a lot of information that I'll use down the road through those classes.
What's next for you?
Yeah, so starting in about 10, 11 days, I'll be starting at WellGuard CPA here in Des Moines. Um, I interned there last summer, so it was nice to kind of already be familiar with the company and with the people and kind of get to see firsthand like the type of things I'll be doing there. So I'll be an accountant for them, working mostly in their tax department. So yeah, kind of ready to start the adult life soon.
Is golf something that you're going to keep a priority and try to play golf as much as possible as well?
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to get as much in right now before I start working as I can, but definitely try to at least once a weekend get out there, and then maybe at least once a night during the week, be able to do that. Um, Probably just try to join a men's league or something later down the road, just to be able to get out once a night or one night a week. So yeah.
Cool. Final section is a go-to section. Just going to rattle off some quick questions and you just answer with the first thing that pops into your head.
All right.
Ready? Go-to food.
I think I might have to say ribs. I'm pretty big fan of barbecue, so yeah.
Go-to movie.
Kind of hard for me to choose just one. I I might say the Harry Potter series. I've been watching those ever since I was a little kid. I just doesn't get old for me. So
Good choice. Go-to TV show or Netflix series or something like that.
yeah, I think for sure The Office is up there for me. I think I've seen it at least 8 times through now, but I still laugh every time. And also Survivor. There's been like 40 seasons of that, and I've seen almost every season. So yeah, I just love that kind of unique show too.
Fun fact, I've never missed an episode of Survivor.
Wow,
Never.
should try it out.
Go-to music.
Um, I like a lot of different kinds of music. I would say probably my two favorite artists. They're kind of polar opposites. Would be George Strait, so kind of like older country, and then Kanye West, which is just way different. But yeah.
Go-to activity if you have, when you have free time.
Yeah, obviously golfing's up there. Just being outside too. I like disc golf too.
Okay.
Yeah, just hanging out with friends, being outside.
Go-to vacation spot.
Um, I've actually never been out of the country, so maybe I might be cool to go to Australia, I think. My dad's been there a lot for business, so um, I don't know, he's had good things to say about it, and it just looks cool in pictures. So
Go-to sport to watch.
definitely college football and basketball are my top ones to watch.
And along that same line, then a go-to sports team.
I'm a really big Arkansas Razorback fan.
Huh.
I was born there and used to live there, so kind of never stopped being a fan of them. They got the flag right there in the room. So
Nice. Bucket list sporting event that you want to attend in person.
I feel like the correct answer for a golfer would be Masters, but either I would say yeah, either that or Final Four for college basketball too.
Do you have a favorite golf course that you've played?
Mm, that's a good question.
I just thought
Maybe
I just thought of it too.
yeah. I haven't played any like super famous ones, but I would say maybe the one that my grandparents live on in Arkansas. Um, it's really nice, really tough course. I think it was on like Golf Digest top 100 hardest courses in the U.S. at one point. So kind of tears me up when I play it, but it's still fun.
Better golfer, you or Coach Oberson?
That's a good question. He kind of likes to act like he's an old man now and can't take on any of the guys on the team, but he definitely still has it. He's a pretty consistent golfer too. So if I'm on, I would say me, but I don't know. Maybe him usually. I'm not sure.
Who can drive it further, you or Coach Oberson?
Me by a ways. Yeah.
Ryan, thanks for joining me, and best of luck with your job and future endeavors. Okay,
Thank you. Appreciate it.
you bet.